Came in like a spear. It just speared through the building like a fireball.
The September 11 attacks were a series of 4 coordinated terrorist attacks by the Islamic terrorist group Al-Qaeda against the United States on the morning of Tuesday, September 11, 2001. Airline companies American Airlines and United Airlines were both in utter shock and disbelief when 3 flights were hijacked. Flight 11 and Flight 175 were both traveling from Boston to LA. The American Airlines Flight 77, traveling from Dulles, Virginia to LA, was also hijacked. United Airlines Flight 93, traveling from Newark, New Jersey to San Francisco, was hijacked as well. Flight 11 of American Airlines struck the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. United Airlines Flight 175 struck the South Tower of the World Trade Center. American Airlines Flight 77 struck the Pentagon building in Washington. And United Airlines Flight 93 crashed in a field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Now we switch over to an interview with guest Heather Fiore. So, Heather, what was 9/11 like for you?
It was like the pandemic. Something like that has never happened before. I remember waking up with a phone call. My mom had called me. She'd gone to work, and she said the Twin Towers have been hit and they've collapsed.
How'd you feel?
Well, I couldn't comprehend how they had collapsed. So I said, "What do you mean they're gone?" And she said, "Mija, they're gone. They're gone." And then I got up, turned the TV on, and at the time I was dating someone, and I called him on his cell phone, and I said, "Can you believe what's going on?" And he said, "What's going on?" And then I told him, "Turn the TV on."
Really?
So it was that whole thing of this unfathomable thing happening where we were just there maybe a year before, and I had stood on top of, I can't remember which tower it was, but I was standing there and I was looking down and we were there, and to imagine that they were gone. And then the second thing that really struck me was how many people lost their lives.
Can I ask you, is the thought of 9/11 emotional for you? Does it trigger any emotions?
Yeah, it does so.
Can you explain?
Well, I watched people jumping from the towers. And to even think of the people who were killed when the planes hit, and the people in the planes that hit the Twin Towers. Not to mention the people who lost their lives at the Pentagon and in Pennsylvania. So just that, the loss of lives, hearing recordings of people who had called their loved ones, who left voice messages, and hearing that. And yeah, it's just, it's not something that you would ever wish on somebody.
Yes. Now, may I ask you, when you were talking about, when you mentioned people falling out of the building, or rather jumping, were you talking about the falling man? Have you seen that photo?
I've seen that photo, but again, because I saw that, here's my thought, here's my thinking, is if I saw that photo, then I would do him justice by watching him fall. And I would do the others justice by watching them fall. It was a time where women wore long skirts. And there were women who jumped out of the windows who were trying to keep their skirts down.
So that they would fall faster?
No, so that they would have dignity.
Oh, okay.
So you have to ask yourself, how bad was the heat?
Yeah.
Where they were, where they thought jumping was better.
Wow. I didn't think of that. Well, I appreciate your input, and I appreciate you accepting this interview.
Thank you.
This is Heather Fiore. Thank you very much.
All right.
After the towers collapsed, only 22 individuals in or below the towers escaped from the debris, including 15 rescue workers. 343 firefighters, including a chaplain and 2 paramedics of the New York City Fire Department, and 37 police officers of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey Police Department, and 23 police officers of the New York City Police Department were killed. It all started at 7:59 a.m. and the towers were breached at 8:46 a.m.